He knows what you're here for. He's not allowed to touch you. He knows that.
You're playing a character here with dissociative identity disorder,
Yep.
23, 24 different personalities. As an actor, do you consider each a separate person?
Yeah. The way I approached it was, I wasn't playing somebody with a condition. I approached it like I was playing 9 different people. I think that was the only way I could do it, because it felt like that was the way to honour the experience that someone with DID has every day of their life, you know. A lot of the research that I found out there and a lot of the material to read that I found out there was just basically arguments about whether or not it's real or it's fake, rather than investigating it from the point of view that it's all real and getting deep into it. And that was quite frustrating. So I resorted to diaries and to video diaries that people give on YouTube. And of course, they're all coming from the point of view that what their experience is very real and utterly vital for them. And that was an amazing resource for me in preparation for this character.
So you said 9 characters, right? We don't see all 23.
We don't see all 24. We see 9 in the movie.
Did you flesh out the other 15?
No, not at all. I had like 2 minutes to prepare 9 characters. And I had no time at all to do this one. I came in quite last minute, so no, I was going to use that time to concentrate on the people that the audience see. But we've got ideas for the other people that might be there.
Now, some of the ones we do see are rather villainous. And
yeah.
You've played heroes before, villains. Is there a side you prefer to be on?
Yeah, I generally like to be the bad guy. The bad guy's always more fun, isn't he? I have a window in my room.
Maybe you could show us.
Oh, that's here. Now it's closed. Now it's open. Did you think it was a real window? So you could leave?
You've appeared in several different horror movies, and I wonder what keeps you coming back to that genre.
It's kind of like a two-pronged answer. Number one is that I've never thought about it that way. I don't go seeking genre. You know, I follow my characters and my scripts and my directors, and that's happened to be in a very dark world, but it could have been anything. It's just what's inspired me. And then second of all, I really enjoy it. It's really fun. You get to experience all of these really intense emotions, and I have so many feelings that it feels really nice to kind of get into a room and scream and cry and kind of let everything out in a safe environment, and that stops me from becoming a psycho. So
horror movies, they terrify me, and so I always approach them as like instructional videos. What would I do if I was the victim in that situation? Have you come out of these horror movies with what if this happened to me?
Probably not specifically if this happened to me, but working in movies in general has kind of made me aware of my inner strength and how far you can push the physical body just out of passion. And so I think that the need to survive is probably the only thing that goes above passion. And so I think I know I'm tougher. Plus, I learned some fighting in Morgan, and I know how to work a couple of guns, so that helps out.
Now, I know you said you don't choose based upon genre, but is there any genre that you haven't gotten to do that you're dying to act in?
I mean, not me, but my family and my parents are sick to death of me traumatizing them, and so every time they see one of my movies, they're like, "Can't you do a romantic comedy? Can't that be a thing?" And I'm like, "Nah, I'm not sure." But probably I'd love to do a movie that involved dancing. I'd like to kind of merge those two things together.
What about comic book stuff? Obviously, there are rumors swirling about New Mutants.
I mean, it would be an absolute pleasure to be a part of it. It's an incredible franchise, and I was a bit of a comic book nerd when I was younger.
So let me ask you then, as a comic book nerd, what do you see as sort of the difference between a New Mutants and an X-Men?
As a fan, I can just say that New Mutants, they're troubled kids. It's a bit of a darker story. They're not as evolved yet, but that's just my opinion as a fan.
Just your opinion as a fan?
Just my opinion as a fan.
Now, hypothetically, let's say that you are in the film. Can I ask that as a hypothetical?
As a hypothetical, yes.
As a hypothetical, how difficult would it be to step into such a long-running, ever-changing franchise as an actor?
I think I would love to do it, but that's just because I think it's something I haven't experienced before. I'm consistently looking for new experiences, and that would be a new experience.
How do you go about finding those experiences?
It's all down to the script. It's always I get a feeling in my stomach when something is meant for me, and it's sometimes, you know, manifests itself as like physical illness. Like I get to the point where I'm so intense about something that I'm like, if I don't play this role, I'm gonna die. Like it's, you know, it's that kind of intensity, but that's the intensity that I chase. You know, it's, once you've felt that feeling, you're kind of looking for it for the rest of your life. And I was lucky enough that I felt that feeling when I first read The Witch, and so I kind of hit it first time.
One quick question on The Witch that I did want to ask you. Have you thought about where your character goes after the end of the movie? Like, does
Thomasin?
does she become
She's
like that
living it
old
up
lady?
in the woods. She does not care about anything anymore. I think people, she's over it. She's completely over it, and she's serving herself, and I think she's having a good time. I think she's free.